We have given you democracy and freedom. It's up to you to keep it. Benjamin Franklin. The Founding Fathers called the adventure of creating this nation the Great Experiment. They didn't know what they were doing or how it would turn out, but they still gave it a shot. America has been tried through wars, depressions, and attacks. We've been pushed to the ground, but we always get back up. There were times when we had lost all hope for the future, when we were divided as a nation, and when other countries attempted to tear us down. But that has never stopped us in the past, and it won't stop us now. 1929 marks the beginning of an era that was filled with despair, lost hope, and depression. People were out of jobs, with no way to provide for their families or even themselves. Many looked to the farmers who could grow their own food and could still feed their own families. However, then the Dust Bowl hit. Crops were destroyed. Those who used to be employed and wealthy could no longer provide for their families or put food on the table. Neighbors got together to help each other. They built a support system for those who had lost loved ones. They came together as one to get through one of the hardest times they would ever face. Our nation had come together to survive the Great Depression, but in 1861, we were divided by different beliefs. The Civil War broke out between the North and the South. Everyone had their own belief about slavery, among other issues. There was prejudice and racism. Americans were killing other Americans. This was not a good time in our history. This is the time when we could have become a divided nation. Fortunately, there were a few that still believed in equality. These few came together to join a pact. They knew what they were fighting for, and they weren't going to stop until they had earned it. Luckily, this group had picked up more and more followers along the way, and in the end, our nation once again became one. We were no longer divided, no longer treating others as unequal, and to this day, Americans still believe in equality. Though America believes that we all have the same rights, other countries do not. Many countries view America as a threat because we have the ability to bounce back from just about anything. The greatest example of this is 9/11, when a group of terrorists with different beliefs thought they could destroy our belief system of liberty and freedom. They destroyed two buildings in one of our largest cities. During the attack, as most were fleeing for their lives, there were many heroes rushing towards the helpless. The firefighters, policemen, first responders, soldiers, and even civilians were risking their own lives to help those that they didn't even know. As humans, we want to live, to preserve our own life. But in America, we put aside our differences and become one. We as a nation, as a people, have been tested from the time we first became an independent nation in 237 years ago. We have seen deaths, we have seen devastation, but we have also seen the goodness in Americans. We have overcome a lot in those years. There will always be battles to be fought, tragedies to overcome, disagreements to put aside, but we will always succeed. We fight for what we believe in. Our young men and women fight every day for our independence. The American people are strong, and we have shown that throughout our history. So I know that, although there are disagreements today, we will always succeed.